Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George Tsoulianos, brought to you by his books. First one, Bodybuilding, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, gives you a great overview of all the different PEDs used in our sport, doses, side effects, cycles. Sequel written last year so you can put it all together. Training, nutrition, supplementation in bodybuilding. And of course, if you're on Amazon.com buying those, might as well buy Real Bodybuilding by Ron Harris. Now, all the way from Athens, Greece, Dr. George Tsoulianos. Welcome, doctor.
Hi, Ron. How's it going?
Good. Any more snow?
No, that's that was it for 2 days. It was a storm, and that was it. I mean, really fast, and it caused a lot of trouble and mess in the power, electricity.
Did you lose power?
Yeah, I told you we lost power for 52 hours, so 2 days and something. And my grandmother for 3 days, it was crazy because we had to rush her to the hospital because she's plagued with oxygen.
Yeah.
So just in case, it was safer at the hospital, for no other reason, But it's messed up. I heard in Texas also same happened.
Oh yeah. I mean, there were
they're not used to this weather. I guess that's why they were having troubles.
Yeah, the power company. I think like 7 million people are out of power for a few days, and yeah, people are dying, freezing to death. 11-year-old boy froze to death in his house.
I had to put my G8s on the snow.
That's free refrigeration. Well, at least you know it's not going to go bad. But before we start with the questions that we got from the viewers, I want to give you a question because all the talk from proviron between you and O'Connor, I decided about 6-7 months ago to start using proviron, and I did the dose of 50 milligrams a day, split up morning and afternoon. And I'm not sure if my hair started getting thinner than it already was. And people are going to talk shit, but my late father, who never knew the word steroid, never even heard that word in his life. My dad had the same bald spot. My younger brother, who's never seen a steroid, same bald spot. 3 older brothers, same bald spot. So it's not steroids. But I heard proviron, you've talked before that it can accelerate hair loss if you have.
Exactly. And we cannot stop this by finasteride or dutasteride because it's already the compound DHT or the DHT derivative. So we can only stop testosterone reduced to DHT. So if you take testosterone and for replacement therapy, we can still solve your problem of hair thinning. Okay, by taking finasteride. And actually, your hair is going to become thicker with finasteride than testosterone, because testosterone, what makes the hair thicker. That's why we grow hair on the chest, on the shoulders. Yeah. If we block with dutasteride or finasteride the hair loss, then we maintain the hair that we have, but they become thicker with testosterone,
Okay, finasteride. But finasteride has got a lot of bad side effects, doesn't it?
Well, you can take a low dose, 1 milligram, and also you can apply local finasteride in foam, okay? Along with minoxidil and ketoconazole, the substances that block locally the DHT, so you don't have the systemic side effects.
Gotcha.
All right.
So, because what I did about 2 or 3 months ago is I took my dose down from 50 to 25 milligrams, hoping that would.
Yeah. But listen, if you take Primo, if you take Winstrol, if you take Anavor, if you take Masteron, it's the same as taking Proviron,
Wow, okay. All right. But, okay, that's good to know. So I'm going to probably look into some finasteride because, yeah, I don't want to get any more bald than I already am.
You can ask for a solution to make your foam or a solution to apply locally. And also you can wash your hair with a shampoo called Nizoral.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah.
Ketoconazole.
First, you wash your hair with Nizoral, and after you apply the minoxidil foam, that's called Regaining Grease. Rogaine, but of course, you can give the prescription to the pharmacist. He can manufacture the compound for you.
Yeah.
The product.
Now, all these young guys are going to be laughing right now. You're losing your hair. Let me tell you guys, if you're 20, 25 years old right now, I had perfectly bushy, thick, full hair.
So I have schoolmates that they are bald from the 30s. What are you talking about? And you have tried steroids for 20 years or more.
Oh yeah. Man.
So you look pretty good for your 50s. Come on.
I'm just trying to cut the haters off at the pass. But you got some questions? Let's get on to some questions. Number one, if I'm on 200 milligrams of test a week, and a lot of it is converting to estrogen, and I add some Arimidex, will I end up with more free test in the bloodstream since the Arimidex is inhibiting it from converting to estrogen, or will I just have the same amount of free test as I did before with less estrogen?
Okay, now the moderator, the thing that uh, is responsible for free testosterone to be high or low is SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin. They're reversely related. Okay, one goes up, the other goes down. Now, when we block testosterone, we know that metabolizes into two compounds, DHT and estradiol. When we block the one metabolizer, then the other increases. So here we block estrogens, then DHT will elevate. What does it mean? If we apply DHT, such as proviron, for instance, then we crash on SHBG and we liberate more free testosterone. So my guess is that by taking an aromatase inhibitor, a lower estradiol, we increase DHT. It's like giving DHT that has a crashing effect on SHBG that liberates more free testosterone. So his guess, I suppose it's right. It's correct.
Cool.
Now, if you take finasteride, you elevate a little bit your estrogens. You know. Okay, and also finasteride blocks DHT that has an estrogenic effect.
Right.
All right, it's the flip side of the coin.
Boy, this is complicated stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no free lunch, there is one good and one side effect of it, and the vice versa,
Yeah, everyone wishes there was some drug that did all good things and nothing bad, no side effects. No such thing, guys. Sadly. Here we go. Should a 29-year-old heavy training man take DHEA and pregnanalone in his daily regimen all year round if his level of S-DHEA is normal or better? Is normal or better, he should wait until he's in his 40s. How many milligrams are enough daily? So should a 29-year-old be taking this?
Yeah, I guess you should wait until your system breaks down in your 40s. So you have to let your system, your own organs and hormones to work, okay? Because it's a shame taking in your 30s DHEA since your adrenals can produce enough of it. They're not fatigued, and also you can produce pregnanalone from your cholesterol cascade. So do not touch it. You can still produce enough of testosterone or pregnanalone or even DHEA. So let it be supplement those supplements according to the blood levels. Okay. Usually, if it's below mid-range, we supply twice a day with 25 milligrams. If it's above mid-range, we supply only once a day with 25 milligrams. And starting when you're gonna really need it. Okay. It's like starting TRT when you still produce testosterone.
Or getting on trend when you're 14. This poor kid. I'm never going to leave him alone. That poor kid. I don't know his real name. Oh, actually, I think he had it in his title. But next question is a good one because short anabolic steroid cycles were kind of a popular thing in the UK, I recall, in the 90s. So this is something a guy says, what are the advantages and disadvantages of short cycles for 3 to 4 weeks? Amateur cycles with propionate esters like nandrolone, trenbolone, etc. Is PCT making in this short cycle a big difference, or is some proviron fine? So first of all, would you even say that's good to do cycles that are only 3 to 4 weeks long?
I've tried that, but I've tried that in the off season of my last show. So the summer 2012, when I was competing in 2013. So I did a major blast cycle for just 4 weeks, and all I gained. No, I mean not all I gained, but I guess you cannot put up serious muscle in 4 weeks. So I had a massive, of course, gains that were water retention, glycogen. Perhaps my strength increased, of course. It was my highest of season of 235. But I guess afterwards there was a kind of shrink, because of the loss of water, the extra water and glycogen. Perhaps a little bit of fat and perhaps a little bit of muscle also.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not healthy also, if you blast those compounds. So I took 1 gram of MPP. 1 gram of Primo, 2 grams of Test, and half a gram of Tren, and 50 milligrams of Dianabol for 4 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, this is an abuse that may cost you in your labs. And also, I remember that I had a horrible foggy mind, and I feel so much bloated.
Yeah.
And I can say that 2 grams of testosterone bring the double strength of 1 gram of testosterone by, or half a gram of testosterone. It doesn't go like this, always.
Yeah. Right. But
And all you get is the side effects that is nasty.
Yeah, I mean, I always just personally believed, and I have no evidence, but I always believed you're better off using less and staying on much longer so you could get more out of it, and you're not doing that kind of damage to your system. Even though you're on longer, the amounts are much, much lower. I always just felt that was a better way to go. But so the follow-up question to that, for these short cycles, would you use PCT between those, or?
Yes, of course you use, because you're gonna stack on different compounds. And by the way, proviron is not a PCT. Proviron is good for fertility only. But since you use it in the PCT, you shut off your system because it lowers LH. Actually, it's a steroid.
Wow. Okay. So bad idea, guys. Proviron for PCT. Don't do it. Okay. Next one. Wow. I had my pituitary tumor removed. You answered my question months ago. I have another question. I'm on all synthetic hormones, being that my pituitary gland does not produce anything. The only thing I'm not taking is GH. My blood work says my GH level is 0. My endocrinologist says that he is reluctant to give me growth hormone. I'm 47 years old. Do you think I need to go on growth hormone to supplement?
You have to see your IGF-1. This is the legitimate measurement. So if you have low IGF-1 levels, yes, you need to supplement with GH exogenous use, for deficiency. Yeah. So GH production occurs only in sleep, in fasting, in multi-joint exercises, but the legitimate measurement is the IGF-1 if it's high or low. And actually is the measurement that verifies if it's legitimate your GH hormone that you use, okay? So check out IGF-1 levels, and then we shall see. But you have to be really low of IGF-1 in order to convince your endocrinologist prescribing you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you speak to more physicians than I do, but I don't think it's even very common at all for doctors to prescribe GH no matter what, no matter if your IGF levels. I don't think it's considered something that they need to replace.
Off-label, they may use it in a trauma spinal cord injury, perhaps in private clinics, but officially it's for dwarfism, for age cachexia, for Turner syndrome that also has to do with short posture girls, So it's about now IGF-1 was used in malnutrition of teenagers.
Wow.
Okay, and it has as you know, hypoglycemic effect like insulin, so you have to use it after your meals. So people that are really small, I mean, teenagers or kids or children that are really small in growth, and they have to catch up in growth,
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, most of the people that are getting it by prescription in the U.S., they're getting it from anti-aging clinics. They're not getting it from
exactly.
Their actual endocrinologist.
The rules about to get it from the NHS.
Right. Okay, next question. I just got my hands on some Turkish Pregnal, which comes with a saline solution, sodium chloride, but not bacteriostatic water. After I mix the peptide with the solvent, can I store 250 IU in an insulin needle in the fridge without any risk of bacterial contamination?
Yes, you can. And also, this is what I do. And by the way, saline 0.9 sodium chloride is, let's say, 1% solution of salt of sodium chloride. You have to know that salt is an environment where bacterium cannot survive.
Oh, so
yeah.
It already is bacteriostatic.
So like the sea is hypertonic environment, like the pool, and so the sea is supposed to kill everything. It doesn't survive anything in the sea because of the sodium chloride.
We need to throw COVID into the sea. It'll get rid of COVID. What a ridiculous answer that was from me. Here, this was for both of us, so I want you to start. What are your favorite compounds for bulking, And how far do you push them?
I've tried almost everything apart from anadrols, oxymethylone. So slow release testosterone, slow release DHEA, slow release trenbolone, ecupose, plus dianabol and oxymethylone. This is and GH insulin. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I would give the same answer. It's if you can't grow on, just test DHEA, maybe a little bit of tren, a little bit of dianabol, arandrol. That's plenty to grow on. Man, you're probably not going to grow at all. So yeah. And how far do you push them? I don't bulk anymore. I'm not trying to be 250, 260 pounds anymore. I don't think
Just
you
make
are
sure
either.
before starting a cycle to be perfect in your labs. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be in the green zone in order to go to the orange zone. Because if you're in the yellow zone, you're screwed up in the red zone, Goes like this.
Yeah, because most people will never do blood work in the middle of a heavy cycle because they don't want to see.
Not in the middle, but before you have to be super healthy.
Right.
In order to avoid the consequences,
Well, because I'd say just about anybody that's on a blast cycle, if you do your blood work in the middle of that blast cycle, it's going to look horrible.
There's no need unless you have, we said that before, unless you have jaundice, unless you have, for instance, I don't know, a nose bleeding, or if you have pain in the right side of your liver, or something terrible goes wrong. But usually we do before and after in order to see the damage and in order to make sure that everything is good to avoid the damage.
Gotcha. Our final question, doctor. Guy says, should I try melatonin 2 just for fun?
So this is to avoid the suntan that's really carcinogenic, in some countries like Australia, for instance. So yes, I heard that it's much more safe rather than going to the tanning beds or letting the sun burn you. And also it increases a lot of your libido, your sex drive, the melatonin peptide.
Really?
Yes. So it makes you look like a gypsy, really dark. Without even in the middle of the winter,
Yeah. I did hear you never try. Well, I think you get a great tan anyway, don't you?
Yeah, well, listen, because I'm blondish, brownish, I don't get as dark as brunette people.
Okay. I just assumed all Greeks could get great tans. There I go, generalizing again. But one bad thing I did hear about melatonin years ago, tell me if this is true, that if you have freckles, it'll turn the freckles black and they stay black forever. Is that true or is that a myth?
It is, your freckles, but some of them, they have to be examined, before exposed to the sun because they may turn carcinogenic into melanoma, which is malignant,
Yeah. Yeah, but geez, most people don't have a lot of freckles, but there are definitely the people that probably would want to use
moles.
this.
I'm sorry, moles.
Yeah, moles. So freckles, like very light-skinned people, like redheads especially, gingers, whatever you want to call them.
Freckles,
They have a lot of freckles, and those are the people that they don't go in the sun because they can't. Like, I remember Dennis Wolf told me he never had a real tan in his life. He just burns. He never has a real tan, so he has to paint it on. But somebody like that would have a lot of freckles. Like a lot of Irish people, a lot of red-haired people. If they took this stuff, I wonder, would they end up with all these dark spots on their bodies that they would never be able to get rid of? That's scary. That would look just very unsightly, I think. Anyway, well, Doc, we should be having the Arnold Classic right about now, but this is still COVID world, so no Arnold Classic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't even have a date. I want the date. Come on, Larimers, give me a date.
Now, Rick Owens yesterday told me that the Olympia will be held in October.
Yeah, I've been hearing that. There's no official announcement.
Why? Well, unless the Arnold has to be done in September, so they're super close, so the athletes do not lose their conditioning.
Yeah, that's
a good idea, though.
I think it's a good idea for the athletes. I think because they don't have to prep twice. What if these shows are 3 weeks, only 4 weeks apart? That's one prep, really. But
yeah, they can gain 5 pounds with a cheat meal for 1 week only, and after that they can start again dieting. Instead of picking twice a year within 6 months. It was hard for them.
Right. The only thing that worries me is for the fans to travel, especially internationally. I don't think people are going to come from Europe or Middle East twice to the U.S. within 1 month. They're going to pick one.
It's really hard. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. There's ups and downs to both, but we haven't heard a date.
You told me that you're positive about the December. And this was reasonable because it's the latest of the year, and I guess the COVID thing will be resolved by then.
Yeah, everyone seemed to like it, because I was at the seminar. There was a seminar the morning after the Olympia with the class winners and all the VIPs were there. And Dan Solomon, he went around, he asked everyone, he goes, "What do you guys think? Who here likes having the Olympia in December?" And almost everybody put their hand up. There was a couple of people that were sitting there like this, but a lot of people, they like it in December.
But in Florida, in Orlando?
Yeah, they like it in Orlando.
But you know what? The spectators were just 1,000, not like 8,000 in Vegas.
Right.
In the
right. I do think they I have no, I don't know what they're going to do, but I do think they want to bring it back to Las Vegas. Las Vegas is glamour, it's shows, it's just more of a.
Like when Olympia was held also in Europe and in different parts of the States,
Yeah. We haven't had the Olympia outside the
LA,
US.
New York.
I believe the last Olympia that was outside the United States was Finland, 1992.
Yeah. But also it was around USA, was LA, was Chicago, Atlanta, was New York, Chicago. Yeah. Yes. This was cool.
Yeah.
You could visit also different cities,
I know.
Always in Vegas since 1998 in Mandalay Bay,
Yeah, well, I liked it in Mandalay Bay, I'll tell you that. I did like the Mandalay Bay. That was a nice place.
99, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, but Planet Hollywood would be the new location. It's pretty cool too. It's right there in the middle of the strip.
Is there a dome?
No, it's not like Orleans. Planet Hollywood's it's more upscale than Orleans for sure. And like I said, it's right on the strip. You can walk outside, you can go right to other casinos.
But the Orleans was like a basketball stadium, it was 8,000.
They had a great stadium, but it was like 2 miles off the strip. The actual.
No, really, I would say it was about five minutes on foot. It was 1 mile.
Did you walk it? Did you try to walk to the strip ever? Because I did.
Of course I did. It was half a mile from the hotel.
Man, I must be slow. It took me like an hour, I think. Oh. That was very hot. I was tired. Anyway. That's it. Guys,
Okay.
if you have questions for the doctor, please leave them under here in the comments. We are going to have another guest next time.
Another doctor, yes.
Do you want to say who it is, or we want to make it a surprise?
Okay, let's keep it a surprise.
Okay, it's going to be another. There's not many people like Dr. George and Dr. Thomas O'Connor in this world that have.
He's American.
He's American, but he's one of the very few, you can count them on one hand, doctors who have this level of knowledge about PEDs and the side effects and doses, things like that. And this is another one. This is another great doctor with information that's going to help you guys out a lot. So I can't wait to hear you guys talk about different subjects related to this. It's going to be very interesting. I'm just going to sit here with my popcorn and listen to everything.
And perhaps we can answer to the show because this doctor also has Q&As in his own show.
Oh, yeah.
So we can keep the questions and we can have his version and my version.
All right, well, let's try it. I'll take the questions, and if he wants to do that, we'll certainly do that. That'd be cool to get two different doctor opinions, because they always say get a second opinion. This would be like that.
Well, I almost agree to everything with him. I mean, when I
Yeah, you're both very, very experienced, and like I said, you've both been doing this a very, very long time. So yeah, guys, leave the questions. You might have two doctors answering your questions next time. We'll see what happens. And if you want to leave in the comments, did you think I looked horrible without the glasses? If so, tell me I look ugly, disgusting. I'll put my glasses back on. Anyway, thank you, Dr. George. Excellent show as always.
Okay.
Stay warm over there in Greece. Everyone in the USA, stay warm too. This winter can't go on that much longer, right? So until next week, thank you for watching Ask Dr. Testosterone. We'll see you next time.